Hello, wildlife lovers. Welcome back to Voice for Wildlife, the channel where we dive deep into the mysterious, majestic, and utterly fascinating world of wild creatures. And today's star, none other than the true king of the jungle, the tiger, a symbol of raw power, hidden grace, and untamed beauty. Every silent step through the dense forest speaks volumes about its wild soul. If you're a diehard fan of the animal kingdom, especially those fierce and majestic predators, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an epic wildlife journey with us. And now, let's step into the world of the tiger, where strength, smarts, and sheer courage rule the top of the food chain. Rewritten slightly to sound smooth and engaging. Tigers. The majestic kings of the wild, tigers are large carnivorous mammals and the biggest cats in the world. Their iconic coats, orange with black stripes and white undersides, are truly unique to each individual, just like human fingerprints. Tigers are the largest cat species and can grow up to 13 feet, 4 meters long. Their signature orange coats with black stripes are as unique as a human fingerprint. They're powerful enough to take down prey much larger than themselves. Tiger cubs stay with their mothers for about 2 years. Tigers are territorial and require vast forest areas for hunting. While some countries have stable tiger populations due to strong protections, in others, poaching continues to cause dangerous declines. International trade in tiger parts has been banned since 1987. Adult male tigers typically weigh between 220 to 570 pounds, 100 to 260 kilograms, while females range from 165 to 400 pounds, 75 to 180 kilograms. Their full length from nose to tail tip can reach over 13 feet, making them nearly 4 times larger than the next biggest cat in their habitat. Of all the subspecies, the Amur or Siberian tiger is the largest. As apex predators, tigers sit at the top of the food chain. Their bodies are built for power and stealth. They have strong necks, long limbs, powerful jaws, sharp claws up to 4 inches, 10 centimeters long, and excellent senses. Like house cats, their claws are retractable, staying sharp and ready for action. Interestingly, tigers rely more on their sense of smell for communication than for hunting. They mark their territory using scent, just like smaller cats. But they have fantastic eyesight and hearing, allowing them to hunt both day and night. One quirky feature, tigers have white spots behind their ears. These eye spots may help confuse potential threats or even deter attacks from behind. While tigers face few natural predators, the only animals that pose a real threat to them, aside from humans, are larger tigers. Tigers don't need to eat every day. On average, they make a kill about once a week. That works out to around 11 pounds, 5 kilograms of meat a day for an adult male. However, a mother tiger raising cubs needs much more, about 24 pounds, 11 kilograms per day for nearly 2 years to maintain her energy. When large prey like deer or buffalo is scarce, tigers will go after smaller animals, fish, birds, rodents, insects, even primates. While they can take down animals much bigger than themselves, their ideal prey tends to be roughly their own size, such as large antelopes or tapirs. Tigers rely on stealth and their striped coats for hunting. While their orange color may seem too bright to blend into a green forest, most of their prey, like deer, are red-green colorblind. To them, a tiger actually blends in quite well. The stripes help break up the tiger's outline, adding to the camouflage. You might wonder, why don't tigers just evolve green fur? The answer is simple. Mammals don't naturally produce green pigment. Orange and red are much more common in mammalian coloration. Tigers reach sexual maturity at around 4 years old, with males maturing slightly later than females. A male tiger's territory may overlap with the ranges of up to 3 females. However, females tend to keep their distance from one another, and when tigers do meet, it often leads to conflict. Unlike some animals, tigers don't have a specific mating season. They breed year-round. A male can detect when a female is in heat just by smelling her scent. Her heat lasts about 5 days, and during that time, they'll mate multiple times per day. Mating involves the male biting the female's neck to keep her still. It usually lasts around 30 seconds. After mating, the female is pregnant for about 100 days. On average, she gives birth to 2 cubs, though nearly half of all tiger cubs don't survive past their first year. Unfortunately, humans are the leading cause of cub mortality. Female tigers usually wait about 2 years before having another litter. Like most mammals, tiger mothers nurse their young with milk at first. Cubs drink milk for about 6 months, then gradually start eating solid food provided by their mother. Life of the kings. When tiger cubs are born, they're blind, helpless, and weigh just about 10 pounds. For the first few weeks, they rely completely on their mother. She hides them in a den, feeding and protecting them fiercely. During this time, the mother rarely hunts and survives off the energy she stored during pregnancy. By the time cubs are 6 to 8 weeks old, they begin exploring outside the den and start tasting solid food, although they'll continue nursing for up to 6 months. As they grow, the mother teaches them vital survival skills: how to stalk, pounce, and kill. These early lessons are crucial, as the jungle is no place for the weak. Cubs stay with their mother for about 2 years, that are gradually becoming more independent. Around this time, the young tigers, especially the males, leave to establish their own territory. It's a risky move and many won't survive, but those who do grow into powerful solitary hunters. Solitary but fierce. Tigers are famously solitary creatures. Unlike lions, they don't live in prides. Each tiger has its own territory, which it defends fiercely from rivals of the same sex. Males especially require vast areas to roam, sometimes hundreds of square miles. Territories are marked by scent, scratches on trees, and vocal calls like roars or chuffing. These serve as warnings to stay away, or invitations during mating season. Although they live alone, tigers aren't antisocial. They sometimes share kills with other tigers, usually family members, and even show signs of affection, like grooming and playing. Habitat loss, poaching, and illegal wildlife trade have pushed tigers to the brink. In just over a century, we've lost 90% of the world's wild tigers. Only around 4,000 remain in the wild. Despite international bans, tiger parts are still traded on the black market for traditional medicine, status symbols, and superstition. Tigers are also losing their forest homes to farming, logging, and urban expansion. But there's hope. Conservation efforts around the world, from India's tiger reserves to global campaigns, are helping tiger numbers bounce back in some regions. With continued protection, education, and awareness, we can ensure future generations hear the roar of the tiger in the wild, not just in stories. Growing up, how tiger cubs learn to survive. As tiger cubs grow, their mother becomes their first and most important teacher. She patiently shows them how to stalk prey, hunt, and navigate the wild. The cubs sharpen their skills through play, chasing each other, pouncing, and wrestling, all while learning what it takes to survive on their own. It can take up to 2 full years before a cub is ready to leave its mother. Once they do, young tigers live alone and rarely encounter others until they begin searching for a mate. Where tigers roam. Tigers live in a wide range of habitats, from the tropical and temperate forests of the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia to the dense evergreen forests of Russia and China. Surprisingly adaptable, tigers have also been found in mangrove swamps, brackish coastal regions, and even the lower Himalayas. But tigers depend heavily on forests rather than open landscapes because they rely on stealth and camouflage to sneak up on their prey. They blend into the undergrowth, moving silently until it's time to strike. Because they need so much territory, tigers are especially vulnerable to human encroachment, things like farming, logging, and development. Their home ranges can vary widely, from just 20 square kilometers, around 8 square miles, to over 400 square kilometers, 154 square miles, depending on food availability. In some areas, as many as 15 to 19 tigers may live within a 100 square kilometer zone. Female tigers usually have smaller territories than males. Tigers and leopards living together, competing for survival. Tigers share their habitat with other big cats, most notably the leopard, Panthera pardus. Both species have similar needs and are found in overlapping regions across Asia. Although leopards are smaller and lighter, they hunt in much the same way, preying on deer, antelope, goats, and sometimes even livestock. When tigers and leopards coexist, the larger tiger tends to dominate access to easier prey. This forces leopards to hunt harder, often targeting more elusive or less desirable animals. Unfortunately, since both cats sometimes hunt livestock, they often come into conflict with local farmers, making them targets for retaliation. Where are tigers found today? Today, wild tigers are found in just a handful of countries: Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, Nepal, Russia, and Thailand. How many types of tigers are there? That's still a matter of debate. While all living tigers belong to one species, Panthera tigris, experts generally agree that tigers can be divided into subspecies based on where they live and how they've adapted to different environments. Tigers live in regions separated by natural barriers like mountain ranges, such as the Himalayas, deserts, oceans, and open grasslands. These obstacles have kept tiger populations isolated from one another for thousands of years, leading to distinct physical and genetic differences. Currently, 6 tiger subspecies are recognized as still surviving in the wild. 1. Amur tiger, P.t. alteca, native to the Russian Far East and northeastern China, once called the Siberian tiger. 2. Indo-Chinese tiger, P.t. corbeti, found in mainland Southeast Asia, north of the Malay Peninsula. 3. Malayan tiger, P.t. jacksoni, native to the Malay Peninsula. 4. Sumatran tiger, P.t. sumatrae, found only on the Indonesian island of Sumatra. 5. Bengal tiger, P.t. tigris, the most numerous, found across the Indian subcontinent. 6. South China tiger, P.t. amoyensis, believed to be extinct in the wild, no confirmed sightings since the 1970s. Gone but not forgotten, the extinct tigers. Sadly, 3 tiger subspecies have already gone extinct in modern history, known only through old records, photographs, and preserved remains. 1. Bali tiger, once lived on the island of Bali, Indonesia. Hai, Javan tiger, native to the Indonesian island of Java. Ba, Caspian tiger, once roamed across Central Asia from Iran to Turkey. How many tigers are left in the wild? The best current estimate for the total number of wild tigers is just 9,978 individuals. Of those, only about 70% are adults, meaning there are at most 8,905 tigers capable of breeding. In the last century, tigers have completely disappeared from Singapore, Bali, Java, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. Since 1999 alone, wild tiger populations have declined by 22% to 63%, and their range has been cut in half. Today, tigers occupy less than 7% of their historical territory. This dramatic decline is largely due to poaching and habitat loss caused by human activity. But in truth, humans have been driving wild tigers toward extinction for far longer than just the past 25 years. Keeping the wild connected. Wildlife corridors have become critical for tiger conservation. These pathways allow tigers to move safely between protected areas, find mates, and expand their range. Thanks to stronger protection efforts in India, Nepal, Thailand, and parts of Northeast Asia, tiger numbers in some regions are beginning to stabilize or even increase. Forests where tigers live are now being better protected, with tighter controls on logging and human activity. But across much of Southeast Asia, the story remains grim. Tiger populations are still falling. The positive momentum in places like India, Nepal, and Thailand may help balance the declines elsewhere. Overall, there's cautious hope that global tiger numbers could recover in the future if we stay the course. The future of tigers. Tiger conservation is an ongoing effort, and the trends vary by region. South Asia shows promising progress with increasing tiger numbers and better forest protection, while Northeast Asia may follow suit. In contrast, Southeast Asia is still facing declines, but growth in South Asia might help offset some of these losses. Tigers are under constant threat from humans and climate change alike. As forests are cleared for agriculture, logging, and expanding settlements, tigers lose the vast, undisturbed habitats they need to survive. Across Asia, these once continuous forests are being carved up by roads, farms, and development, fragmenting tiger territory more and more. When the forest shrinks, conflict grows. As tigers are pushed closer to human settlements and farms, conflicts with rural communities increase. Some tigers, desperate for food, turn to livestock, leading to retaliatory killings by farmers trying to protect their animals and livelihoods. The forests tigers rely on also depend on Asia's great rivers, like the Ganges, Irrawaddy, and Salween. But droughts and floods are becoming more frequent, threatening not just tiger habitats, but entire ecosystems. Why tigers are still being hunted. Tigers are primarily hunted for two main reasons. One, to sell their body parts, and two, to prevent attacks on livestock. Tiger parts are still used in traditional medicine, and their striking pelts are sought after as luxury items, status symbols of wealth and power. A single tiger can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. The largest market for tiger parts is China. Despite conservation laws and international bans, poaching remains a constant threat across the tiger's range. Thank you for staying with us until the very end of today's journey. We hope that the stories about tigers not only helped you learn more about this magnificent creature, but also sparked a deep love for the wild within you. Tigers are symbols of strength, resilience, and courage. Yet behind their majestic image lies a harsh reality, one where their survival is threatened every single day. Every tiger that disappears takes with it the roar of the forest and a piece of nature that can never be replaced. If we don't act now, the future of tigers and the ecosystems they protect may soon exist only in textbooks. We believe that every small action you take, whether it's sharing knowledge, raising awareness, or supporting conservation programs, contributes to something much greater. Don't underestimate the power of compassion and commitment, because you, me, all of us, we are the last hope for species on the edge of extinction. We look forward to seeing you again on our next journey, where nature still whispers its magical stories and where we still have time to write a new chapter, one of revival, one of hope, one where life continues to thrive.